How are we doing, guys? Moose here. Welcome back to episode number 61 of our West Ham United career mode. I want to thank you guys so much for the support on episode 60, the awards from last season. 20 likes happened so quick. It was unbelievable. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Obviously, take a look at the screen if you don't remember our season budget coming into season 3 now. About $33.5 million that we're going to have to play with to try and bring in some big players because, of course, we'll be competing now in Europe finally for the granddaddy of them all, the Champions League we will be in. Of course, we're going to be playing in the European Continental Shield as well. I decided to take a tournament in France that some of our French boys would like to go back there. We have Adrian and John Anthony Brooks, of course, our pre-contracts coming in. John Anthony Brooks looking to slot right into our starting 11. We also had a couple of our loans from last season expired. Gabriel, of course, I'd love to bring him back on loan. I thought he was very, very good, so I'll submit a new offer for him to come in on loan as well as for Ruben Neves just to see if Porto are interested in loaning him because, you know, we might not need him. I'm looking to bring in a CDM, but if we need someone for cover, he'd be great to bring back in again for the season. Now, our Champions League objective the board give us, they want us to reach the semifinal. I don't know if they realize we've never been in the Champions League. Oh, no, mate, you got it. Semifinal. Yeah, come on. Are you having a laugh? Semifinal. It's absurd, but we're going to have to let some players go. We're going to have to bring in some funds for some underperforming players, and these are the likes. The big names you're going to see, Danny Ceballos. If we can get upwards of $20 million for him, I would be ecstatic. Callum Wilson, I'll take $5 million. Sacco, anywhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 10. Randolph, we need to just get off the bill because he's not going to be playing. He's our third-choice keeper now. No sense wasting a 72 overall third-choice keeper on the bench. We do have some young boys listed for loan as well, but those are going to be hopefully the outs for this season. And if there are outs, that means there need to be ins. And these are a combination of guys that you've recommended, the likes of Mascherano. Geis got a ton of love, as well as guys that I've scouted. I've used the scouting network in FIFA. That's what I've used. I'm not using any kind of cheats, any kind of FIFA, anything like that. I used the FIFA scouting network and your suggestions to compile this short list. And I think the two main things I've really said I want a secondary striker behind the likes of Dybala and Lacazette, who can do the business, especially if we're playing multiple games in a week. We're going to need someone to come in, as well as a CDM. So we got the likes of Mascherano, you guys have recommended. Rondon was a recommended striker highly, as well as I've left on the likes of Batshuayi's really highly recommended. But Geis, I think, will be a great CDM addition. Maybe Carvalho, but not a ton of pace. Sergi Roberto looks unbelievable. If you can stomp on Sergi Roberto, my ideal player to bring in would be Pjanic. I'd go crazy if we could bring in Pjanic, but I don't know if we'll have the funds to do that. So we're going to try and bring in some of those boys here in the transfer window. Let me know in the comments who your favorites from that short list are, because I think those are the guys for the most part I'm going to look at. So let me know who you think I should be most interested in. But unfortunately, we hear back from Santos that they have accepted a bid of $8.5 million for Gabriel from Athletic Bilbao, and I'm not looking to bring him in at this moment in time. I don't think he's worth it as of yet. So unfortunately, Gabriel does not look like he's going to be coming into the team. And Jackie Butland does have an offer from Dortmund that we say absolutely not to. They're nowhere near what the price range would be for him. I'd be wanting 40-50 million for a player his caliber. But we do have our first match. Of course, it's going to be against Torino, Ogbonna's old club actually, but unfortunately he's not in the lineup. And we had a couple of our young boys, Samuelson and Oxford, said they wanted to play, so they will get into the match eventually. But what I decided to do is, in this preseason tournament, I'm going to be playing the 4-4-2 diamond that you guys suggested. We're going to be playing the flat 4-4-2, and we're going to be playing our usual 4-2-3-1, and we're going to see what formation works best and which one we feel the most comfortable with, because, you know, if we get a situation where you guys keep saying play two strikers, and if there's a situation where it seems to start working out better for us, then maybe that's what we'll start doing the rest of the way, and we'll see what we can do. But for this first match, we're going to try the 4-4-2 diamond. Lacazette and Dybala up top with Payet in the hole just behind it. Let's Payet get back into his favored cam position. Gorska, Noble, Chiante in the midfield. John Anthony Brooks making his debut, so that's nice to see. So really, really solid lineup for us, honestly. Coming up against the Torino side, that they have one player I didn't put on my short list, but you guys suggested that Baselli, who I think they're playing him in a central midfield more attacking role. I think he could be really good, so I'm going to take a look at him as well. He was recommended in the comments, but we are taking on Torino and hopefully going to come away with a win. But starts off very brightly. Cresswell into Lacazette. Payet makes a run for it. He spots Dybala through. First time, it's in the back of the net. Paulo Dybala just 8 minutes in, and could this be the new formation for us? What a finish from Dybala. It's lovely work. Cresswell inside the Lacazette, who stopped short. Payet takes advantage of that space in the middle, feeds Dybala, who's making the run off the last defender, gets in behind, and it's a simple finish past the keeper. Not the best finish to flex, but it's in the net regardless, and we take an early 1-0 lead. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be basically using all these formations in the tournament, and then in a later episode, we'll do a pros and cons of each formation, and we'll let you guys kind of say what you thought of them and how we felt we played. But we're moving the ball so well. Lacazette holds it up. He's been playing almost like a target man now. He finds Payet into Dybala yet again, and that is a stunning move. We started the ball in our own half, worked it up with some pace and patience. Lacazette does really well to hold things up, finds the run of Payet, and it's Payet linking up with Dybala yet again. Our top goal scorer from last season, of course, he played so well in that lone striker role at the beginning of the year. Could he be back up front, leading the line for us yet again? If he's going to show off that kind of clinical finishing, I think he will be. Great finish from Dybala, and we take a 2-0 lead. That's nearly 3-0 with Marky Nobes hitting one from range, but it goes just wide. And we'll see if Noble's going to make, he's our captain, he's our leader, he's Mr. West Ham, the Cockney Perlo, but he's got to hopefully make the same impact this year as he did last season. He was unbelievable. But we do come away with the victory. The highlights for these preseason matches, they're going to be a little abbreviated. I don't want to waste too much time on the preseason matches when we want to get into the big European competitions we'll be facing this year. But overall, 4-4-2. I thought it played well. I don't think we had enough of the ball, to be honest. We don't have enough quality in the center of midfield passing the ball wise. We have the likes of Goretzka. He's not a great passer. Noble's a very good passer. Keontae's got a ton of energy, but he's not a deep playmaker type of player. So we might have to improve, obviously, in central midfield with our ball playing midfielders to allow us to continue in this formation. But we do get an offer from Sunderland for Diafra Saka, who is unhappy with his playtime. They only want to give us $5 million, though, and I wasn't happy with that, so I said up it to $9 million. Like I said, somewhere in the $7 to $10 million range, and we'll more consider it. But so that's the offer I put in for Sacco. Obviously, Porto said they would accept us loaning Ruben Neves in for another season, so we have that in our back pocket. Of course, if nobody else goes for Ruben Neves, we'll have him available for a loan that we could bring in, because he's a fantastic defensive midfielder. So I'd love to bring him in for another season if need be. But we get a transfer offer now from Chelsea, $17.5 million for Goretzka. He's a great midfielder, but unfortunately he did kind of lose his starting job to Noble last season. This is going to be a big season for him in his development. So I will say his value is $14 million from our scouting staff. So I said if you double his valuation, $28 million, then sure, you can take him, league leaders Chelsea. But we'll have to wait and see what they say back. Marseille then come in for Jackie Butler, and I say, you know what? He's not going anywhere. That's not even close to what I would sell him for. Don't even bother. Nobody can have him. Sunderland, of course, this is going to be thick, fast, and furious with the offers we're bringing in. Sunderland, $6.5 million is what they counter for Diafra Sacco, so I dropped down my offer from 9 to 8.75 because I'm not looking to sell him to a division rival so he can come back and score on us. And they say $6.5 million, so we go with the 8.75. So if they can give us enough money, then maybe we'll consider. But we come back now against Villarreal, the second match that we're going to take on here in our preseason tournament. We are going to go with the 4-4-2 flat. And as much as I want to rotate the players, I want to see how these formations look with our top players in the lineup. So I think we're going to pretty much start our starting 11, at least for the first 3 or 4 matches here, and see how they perform in these new formations. So we are going to see, what I would pretty much normally play in this 4-4-2. We're going to see Lacazette and Dybala up top. We're going to see the likes of Carrillo and Teo on the wings. Teo has been fantastic for us last season, so hopefully he can continue that run of form he had before he had the torn groin injury that was just devastating. Noble and Keontae in midfield. Unfortunately, Goretzka just wasn't fit. Plus, I didn't want to risk him considering he's in a transfer embargo with Chelsea here. And then, of course, the likes of Ogbonna, Brooks, Van der Veel, Cresswell, and Adrian makes his return to our goal. Of course, we brought back Adrian, and he will come back in the goal. But we start off brightly here. We space out the ball really well. A lovely little ball spin or ball roll, whatever you call it, from Lacazette, and he beats the keeper. That is a composed finish. I'll tell you what, right inside the side netting, that is pinpoint tactical striking from Alexander Lacazette. He's got his sniper shots on. Beautiful finish with the left foot. Beats the keeper. Good pass from Keontae and a simple finish. Big news, though. Transfer. Diego Costa's gone to Dortmund. That's unbelievable for us. You know why? He was top scorer in the Premier League. Get him out of here. Get him off the league leaders. We want that title, so get Costa out here. But Bakumbu goes through in the 26th minute, has a chance to take on Adrian. He does force him to strike it off the post, and we do retain our 1-0 lead for right now. But another good chance now. Acosta here links it in, tries to beat Adrian, but he does well to tip the ball onto the post. So Adrian alert. That's why we love having him now as our second choice keeper, someone who can, you know, keep Butland honest. He's got to stay strong throughout the season, knowing he's got Adrian as his deputy. But unfortunately for us, Villarreal do score in the 47th minute. Lovely work ball. And, you know, the 4-4-2 flat I thought was fantastic because it got our wingers involved. It gave us so many different options of attack. But, you know, we need someone like a Lacazette or a Dybala to drop deep to sort of give us a cam perspective, just so we have someone to link up that attack. And that was the problem with the 4-4-2 diamond in the last match as well, as Mark Noble steps up for a penalty, and how is he missed it? It's pushed onto the post. Noble almost always scores them. But like I said, the 4-4-2 diamond, it put a little too much work on our fullbacks. They had to get up and down because otherwise we had no width, and I think that's what really hurt us possession-wise. But Dybala through to Lacazette, and that is a stunning finish. What a strike from Lacazette. Dybala lays him in, and this is an unbelievable goal because the control you have to put it where he does is sublime. I think he hits it with the outside of his right boot with his laces and the outside of his boot, and he puts it just inside the post past the keeper. That is an unreal finish. So doubles galore. Lacazette and Dybala each with a pair in their first 2 matches of the season here. Dybala scored 2 last match, Lacazette with 2 in this match, and we do come away with another victory here in the tournament, and that's pretty much going to seal us going through to the next round. So we might play some of the backup type players in the next match just to keep some of our top boys fresh as we move on. But I thought this one was better. Creation-wise, we didn't really have any providers. The problem is Lacazette and Dybala aren't real headers of the ball, and when you play with some wide players like that, you really want, you know, would ideally be whipping some crosses and things of that nature, but they're not necessarily headers of the ball, so we'll have to think of a better way to link attack with our strikers. But overall, 2 really good performances, and with them scoring like that, that 2-striker formation is going to be something we're going to have to seriously consider going forward. But late doors now, we got the word from Chelsea. They came back with a £22.5 million offer, and that is intriguing. I'll tell you what, 22.5 for Goretzka. It's well over his valuation of 14 million, but I want more. I'm not gonna lie. The counter offer I'm looking at right now, 25 million. That's what I'm thinking as a counter offer. So what I want from you guys, this is the one thing I want you to respond to absolutely in the comments. 25 million for Goretzka. Is it a good counter offer? Should I go higher? Should I take 22.5? 25 is what I'm thinking. Should I counter that? Let me know in the comments. But that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the support. As always, leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you in the next episode, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Like we always do with this time. I got to shine.